Hello, you beautiful souls. Welcome back. My name is Cynthia, and today I'm coming at you with another video about fasting. I want to share everything that I have personally experienced, tried. So I have tried liquid fast, meaning water fast and juice fast. Then I have been practicing intermittent fasting for many years, and just in recent years I've also done dry fasting. So I feel like in recent years intermittent fasting in particular has gained a lot of popularity. It has become this popular trend, and it seems many people around the world are doing fasting, which I believe and I see it as a great way of healing. Fasting is a not new practice. In fact, our ancestors would have eaten this way because of food availability, and I think many people fail to kind of acknowledge that. But never mind what our ancestors ate, we are here and now, and we have so much abundance, of foods available. And just before I dive into fasting and everything around fasting, I just want to make a quick disclaimer.
The information provided in this video is for educational purposes only and should not be considered medical advice. I'm also sharing my personal experience, and I'm not saying everyone needs to fast. It's a personal matter and personal choice.
You should always consult healthcare professional if you aren't experienced in fasting. So what is fasting? Fasting is an act of refraining from any food and sometimes from drink, any liquid. That might be too extreme for some, but what I've learned in my personal experience, in my journey, that actually that is the most healing way and most quickest way to heal your body. I feel like a lot of times I meet people's limiting beliefs around fasting, negative opinions and projections, just because they haven't tried it themselves, just because they haven't researched anything, and just because I feel like they are just closed-minded and not open to learn something new. There are a lot of misconceptions around fasting as well, which I will be covering shortly. But first, I want to kind of cover why people do fasting in the first place. I have my notes, by the way, as well. If I peek through my notes, just know I'm, reading some of them because I don't want to forget anything. So I want to share everything with you guys. So why people do fasting? So people do fasting for many reasons. I think most common one and most kind of, again, popular one is dietary approach for weight loss. And people might think it's a quick fix, which is absolutely not. Most people just want to lose weight, right? And they think that fasting will get them there quicker way, which it might not necessarily be true. I will speak on it a little bit later. So the next one is improving overall health, which it absolutely does. Better mental clarity. I agree 100%. Like those three are kind of like main ones: the health, the better clarity, more energy, better mood, and of course, weight loss. However, there are a lot of misunderstandings around fasting, and it is often deterring people from trying it or cause them to practice fasting incorrectly. And that is really unfortunate because everything takes a little bit of research, a little bit of digging, because you don't want to start something that you have absolutely no knowledge of or no clue. So some of the most common myths around fasting. Fasting equates to starvation. And I feel like this is far from the truth, because fasting, especially like intermittent fasting, is about timing your meals, not depriving yourself of food. During fasting periods, it's called like a fasting window. You abstain from eating, but during eating windows, you are encouraged to consume nutrient-dense meals that meet your nutritional and caloric needs. So I will insert some pictures, of what I'm eating at some point in the video. But studies and millions of people around the world are doing it, and it can be very effective, like I said, for weight loss and for overall health. So I feel like the key here is to have balanced meals and knowing what you do, understanding nutrition, and then you can go from there. So the next myth or misconception would be fasting slows down metabolism. So research actually indicates the opposite. Specifically, intermittent fasting indicates that short-term fasting as practice can actually boost metabolic rate. Also, intermittent fasting can optimize your health when it's done correctly. So next myth, you can eat anything during eating window. Here's the thing, intermittent fasting focuses on both what you eat and when you eat it. So while it offers flexibility, the quality of food matters. Sometimes I meet people and we talk about fasting, and they think they're doing great job by fasting, but then they would indulge in the same foods that they would eat prior to fasting. So it could be junk food, it could be a lot of fatty foods, very dense foods like meat and so forth. So I feel like when you embark on a fasting route, you have to prepare not only your physical vessel, but also your mind. You have to have like a shift in your mindset, because if you are doing old ways but expecting new results, I have to be honest and say that it's not gonna work, because you literally have to change your mindset and how you eat. I would say you have to change your lifestyle in order to see great results. So high calorie, low nutrient foods can negate the benefits of fasting. If you are planning fasting but don't want to give up junk food, then you simply don't bother, because it, like I said, it's not gonna give you the results that you are looking for. The next myth or misconception, it's not safe for women due to hormone disruption. And yes, I would say our bodies respond differently to fasting due to hormone imbalance. However, there is no evidence that fasting for women is harmful if done mindfully. So some studies actually suggest that women might benefit from shorter fasting windows to avoid stress on the body. I personally don't fast on just before my monthly cycle. I noticed a huge difference, because if you think about it, we lose a lot of blood on our monthly days. So you want to make sure that your body is filled with essential nutrients and like vitamins that your body needs in those days, because you're losing blood, you need more oxygen, nutrients in your body, and after your monthly cycle you're good to go and you can fast. That's what I personally do. So another misconception and kind of like a myth around fasting or intermittent fasting specifically is muscle loss. And again, when fasting is done properly, it can increase growth hormone levels which support muscle preservation. So pairing intermittent fasting with resistance training and proper food intake like protein, fiber, enzymes, so during eating windows can further protect muscle mass. Muscle loss is more likely to happen with extreme calorie deficit. And I feel like this is so true, because during my dry fast, I didn't experience any muscle loss, only water and fat loss. Next misconception or myth is fasting is a quick fix for weight loss. And yes, I can see why people might think like that, while it's not necessarily the truth. To see lasting results, you have to be consistent, patient, and change your lifestyle and mindset. If you treat fasting as a quick fix, it won't last. Approaching fasting as a long-term strategy rather than a fad diet yields the best results. And again, from personal experience, I can say that is absolutely true, because if you are consistent, you're gonna see consistent results. Those are some of the myths and misconceptions that people have around fasting. So many cultures around the world practice fasting as a religious ritual. Some practice it for spiritual reasons and others for health benefits. I feel like every single person can benefit from fasting if they choose to do so. I personally love intermittent fasting. It is absolutely my number one fasting method that I live by. So I've been doing for many years intermittent fasting, and I feel like it has helped me with a lot of things like energy, mood, clarity, improving my overall health, also keeping weight healthy, and pretty much I've been the same weight all my life. Only past year I have gone down a little bit on my weight, and actually I'm quite happy about it. There is this belief around when you get older or when you mature.
When I meet people, they say, oh, I'm 40, I'm already old, and I'm already sick. And
You get older, you get sick. It's just this, again, this mindset that I don't really resonate like at all. I don't know why people have this such a like a negative belief around, when they get older. I'm not too sure why we have been programmed to think that when we get to a certain age, or not even to a certain age, I've heard from people in their 30s and 40s, oh, I'm getting old. That's what happens when you get old. You get more diseases, more illnesses, you get more weight on you, and so forth. And it's just such a negative belief. And think about it again, you are creating what you are speaking. So when you speak about your body, about your cells, and about your being this way, no wonder you're gonna be sick and ill and tired and with lack of energy and so forth. And of course, gaining weight is going to be just, part of it. So be mindful, guys, how you speak to yourself. That's just where the mindset comes in, right? I personally don't believe the person at 30, 40, 50, 60 years of age is old unless you feel that way. No one can tell you are old unless you feel old yourself. So yeah, that's where the negative mindset is coming. I feel like that's all to do with beliefs, with old kind of programming, and I just think it's like old paradigms that we need to like throw out the window. So when it comes to intermittent fasting, some of the popular methods include 16 to 8 plan, which means you fast for 16 hours and you eat in 8-hour window. I personally do 18 to 6 plan, which is I'm fasting for 18 hours and eating in 6-hour window. Hopefully it makes sense. I mean, I can break it down very easy. So let's say I wake up, I start my first meal at around 12 o'clock, and sometimes it varies because I don't like routine, guys, so I never follow like strict regime. But let's say if I would start my first meal at 12, I would eat sourdough bread with hummus or microgreens and avocado or chestnut mushrooms, something like that. So other days I would start my morning with celery, apple, carrot, orange, juice, fresh squeezed orange juice, and some fruit like watermelon, melons, pineapple, banana, etc. Then around 3 o'clock, if I'm hungry, because sometimes I would eat just 2 meals, like a bigger meals, but just twice a day, and that's it. But sometimes if I fancy something around 3 o'clock, I would have again herbal tea, some fruit or light salad. It really depends on the day, what I'm doing, where I'm at, how busy I am. And then just right before 6 o'clock, I would say in the window from 5 to 6, but I try not to do it later than 6. And sometimes I would. Again, it really is not as strict as it sounds, because you are really flexible. You essentially know what you're doing. But I feel like if I'm disciplined, then I will more likely will follow through with everything. So I would do my dinner from 5 to 6, and again, it would be a large bowl of salad, because since last year, if you watched my previous videos or first video that I posted, I was talking about like going more raw. So I'm eating raw living foods. They are full of enzymes and fiber. And for me personally, I feel my body needs that more than any kind of protein. So for my dinner, I try to stick with healthy, light, nutrient dense foods that are really, like salads or soups. Like, especially in winter time, I crave more soups. But it really varies day to day. As long as it's healthy, if you are cooking yourself, I feel like that is the best way, rather than eating something that you bought in store, or ordering fast food. So that's what I do. So at 6 o'clock, I would finish my last meal, and that would give me 18-hour window for my digestion to, break down the food, do all the thing, heal the body. So I feel like 16 or 18 hours gives you plenty of time for your body to rest, heal, and do its thing. And really quickly, I want to go over benefits of fasting. So what fasting is doing. So promotes mental clarity and moods, like I already mentioned, improves immune functions. You have more energy, because when you don't constantly eat, you have more energy, believe it or not, because then your body is not in a constant perpetual state of digesting and breaking down and clearing and healing your body. You give your body more time to digest and do its thing, but what you get in return is more energy, and I call it creative flow. You get creative energy, and you have quite literally more energy to play with. Another major benefit is the health benefit. It stabilizes blood pressure. It promotes blood sugar management by reducing insulin resistance. Also, I already mentioned, but it promotes better health overall. It decreases levels of inflammation in your body, and of course aids weight loss by limiting calorie intake. That's mostly about fasting, intermittent fasting. So when I do my intermittent fasting, I actually don't drink. And I learned since I've been on the dry fast, that when you abstain from or refrain yourself from eating and drinking, the healing happens more quickly. So like I mentioned, I have tried also juice fast and water fast. And since I've tried dry fast, I no longer do any kinds of water fast or liquid fast. And the reason for that is in this book. It is called The Phoenix Protocol by August Danning, and Dry Fasting for Rapid Healing and Radical Life Extension. It is a very interesting book. So for those of you who are, experts at fasting and you are doing it consistently, maybe that's the, next step in your journey. If you kind of are interested in, and if you are called to, then you can look up this book. Or August Dunning on YouTube. He has a great channel where he just breaks down everything about dry fasting. Dry fasting has become one of my favorite fasting methods as well. I'm not gonna sit here and say it is easy, and of course I'm not saying it is for everyone, because dry fasting is next level. Honestly, intermittent fasting, juice fasting, and water fast, you kind of like start with those. And if you want to start with fasting, I would say research everything and start slowly. Pick the fasting plan or method that resonates more with you, that is aligning more with you, you need to take into consideration what sort of fasting would work better for you. You need to choose fasting method that kind of works around your lifestyle, your job, your family life, etc. So it's definitely something that you need to look into, you need to research and start bit by bit. You don't just go straight onto dry fasting like some of the comments I have received on Instagram. I mean, mostly they are positive comments and positive feedback, but sometimes I do get those comments where people are really concerned. You know, this one comment in particular, the person was clearly in such a negative mindset around, you know, fasting. Like he mentioned, he tried fasting but he didn't experience the results, and I don't know if he was doing it wrong or there was something else, you know, that was going on in his life. But you will have different results. Different people will have different results. We are not going to have the same results, but I feel like, you know, you need to know what you are doing, because if you just think, you know, I'm just gonna embark on fasting today or dry fasting today and just gonna do it, it's not really how it works. You have to prepare your body, but not only your body, but like I said, your mind as well. It works on all levels, body, mind, and spirit. So if you are not ready mentally, you probably won't succeed. But just really quickly, I want to talk about dry fasting. So I've actually come out on Monday. I was on a 3-day dry fast, and I did it because I always do it because of something. You know, I don't just go on a dry fast for no reason. So this time around, again, it was like I had an inflamed gum, and I thought it's something to do with the tooth. Luckily, everything is fine. So that's why I went on a rapid 3-day fasting, 3-day healing. And yeah, I feel great. Although it was kind of hard on a day second and the day third, I really felt like I'm lacking so much energy, felt like really depleted, honestly. I feel like also I'm very cautious around, you know, I don't want to lose more weight. I'm quite happy where I am with my weight and with my health. So there is no need for me really to do like a longer dry fasting. But a couple years ago, I think it was 2 years ago now, I was introduced with this book because I was experiencing tooth pain and teeth. That's gonna be like a different video, but yeah. So basically, I experienced pain after my tooth was fixed and everything. It was whole. I changed my fillings to the white ones, and so basically, yeah, I didn't know what to do because I didn't want to get rid of, I didn't want the extraction, which I eventually did, but I was willing to do absolutely everything. And my friend came with this book and she said, Cynthia, this is a rapid healing for overall body. She said, read it, and if you resonate, you might actually try it even 1 or 2 days. So first time around, I went on a 5-day dry fast. I kind of regret it not doing full 7-day, because this Phoenix protocol is for either 7-day dry fast, like the full dry fast is 7 days, or for people who are facing major illnesses or want to reverse diabetes and things like that. And I'm not claiming that it does, but you need to read the book to kind of like understand what the dry fast is doing. So I thought, you know, I need to go on a 7-day dry fast, which I kind of did, but you know, for first time around, because I was a little bit apprehensive, I was a little bit scared. And I thought to myself, what if I'm dying, you know, without food, without water? I've never actually heard about dry fast prior. So for me, it was completely new. But like I said, I'm very open-minded to things. I love, trying new things, learning new things, and absorbing and absorbing everything that's new, and more knowledge, more power. So I did the 5-day dry fast. It went absolutely fine. My tooth actually improved, got better. But because, after some time, I, got into, again, maybe bad habits or whatnot. So I wasn't eating much raw food by that time, although I was eating fruits and everything, but also a lot of cooked food. And I feel like, the tooth pain just came back, and it was just too far gone, and I had to extract it. And I think I just turned 40, and it was most painful thing to lose my first big tooth. I'm probably someone who is very attached to my teeth, because I've always looked after them to my best ability, and I love all my body. So think about it. If someone takes your arm or leg, and I'm not saying that's the same, but it doesn't grow back, right? And it's not like hair. You chop your hair, it grows back. Teeth, once it's out, it's out. So yeah, very painful experience. Different video for another time. But I discovered the dry fasting, and I fell in love with it, because the benefits of dry fasting is absolutely incredible. I love the quote from Hippocrates. I just want to read it quickly, you guys. Everyone has a doctor in him or her. We just have to help it in its work. The natural healing force within each one of us is the greatest force in getting well. But to eat when you are sick is to feed your sickness. Hippocrates. And it's true. When people are ill and they are saying, oh, eat this, eat that, you're gonna starve. No, it's actually very smart way of body to have its healing, not to worry about digesting foods. So our body is most intelligent technology there is on this planet Earth. People think AI is the technology, it's the most advanced technology. I personally think it's the human body. And think about us women, we are producing life. Can AI produce life? Of course it can't. So when you abstain from foods when you are ill, especially, you can see it in children. When they are ill, they do not want anything. And sometimes I remember even myself, I'm like forcing my child to eat, because I'm thinking, oh my gosh, he's not getting all the nutrients, he's not getting anything, he's gonna be more ill. But such a weird twisted thinking. Now I know better, of course. But yeah, this book is great, and I feel like I need separate video just on a dry fast. So I leave that for a different video, because this video is quite long enough. But I just want to say the benefits of fasting is endless, you guys. I would say for spiritual reasons, for physical reasons, just for overall health and wellness, they are endless. Yeah, this video has been a long one. If you watched it, thank you for being here. I would appreciate if you would leave a like, or if you want to ask me anything in the comment section down below. I want to ask you, have you ever tried any kind of fasting, and what were your results or benefits? And yeah, please let me know in the comment section down below. I would love to read it. So thank you so much for being here and watching. I'm sending you so much love and gratitude, and I will see you next time. Bye.